for? I know bye week, you've had a bye week earlier this season, but this one, knowing that Jordan's going to be the quarterback and kind of the offense has started to find some identity, how helpful was these few days for those guys?
I think it's unbelievable. And I say that because we got to really focus on not the game plan. We got to focus on our base plays versus a variety of looks. And that's really where we've struggled the most. I mean, we haven't struggled going out there, the last few games and executing, the base looks to the game plan. We've struggled when the picture changes. And what we've practiced is no longer what they're doing because they adjusted. Well, that's what we're struggling to is, okay, can we all be on the same page when they change? So this last week was all about they do something different. We gave them almost every look you could give versus inside zone, versus counter, versus power, versus everything and said, okay, what are our answers? How do we block it? And how can we be successful? So from that standpoint, it was huge.
Just talk about what you see from Pitt's defense and how do you think it matches up with your unit?
Physical. I mean, this is probably the most physical defense we faced. Very similar from that standpoint to Notre Dame. They're big, they're physical guys. They're extremely good on the defensive line. Definitely a strength of what they do. They challenge receivers. Very rarely do you see soft coverage. It is bump and run. It is tight quarters. They're in your face. And essentially, it's cover zero. They are. It is an attacking defense that doesn't attack through pressure. They attack through everybody within 9 yards of the line of scrimmage. So they do not want you to run the football. They want you to force shots down the field and have those shots be contested with man-to-man coverage. And then when they do blitz, they're extremely soft and they give up underneath routes and they bank on their pressure hitting home. So they're either super base but aggressive and in your face, or they are bringing the house and they're trying to hit your quarterback. There's really no middle ground with it, which is a lot different than how most defenses play football nowadays. It is an old school mentality that they're going to go out there and whoop your butt.
Kenny, I know you mentioned just kind of wanting to be more multiple in terms of what you're able to do and when defenses show you different stuff, but is the off week at all used to install new concepts, or is it simply just a matter of doing what you guys have been trying to do just at a better clip?
We did not install one new play. It was all about running the plays that we have, correctly versus the different looks. At the end of the day, there's only so many things you can do on the football field. There's only so many angles you can create. And I think, that's why we've been successful running the football, almost everywhere we've been is because we've created those angles. But when you create those angles, you also create mental gymnastics when you get a look you haven't seen. So all we worked on this week was how can we block this look versus this play, this look versus this play. And then in the passing game, right, how can we beat man-to-man coverage?
When you look at Jordan's, these couple months, I guess, for Jordan, missing so much preseason and then kind of taking over the job and then going into the week-to-week process, how excited are you about the future for him when he actually has time to really be the starting quarterback and talk to you guys and kind of polish up some of the things he does?
Extremely excited. I mean, I think he's got all the ability to be a really, really, really good quarterback. And I mean, he shows flashes of that, his playmaking ability, his ability to throw the ball down the field. And I don't think we've done a good enough job, myself, as a staff, getting him involved in the quick passing game to get the ball out of his hands on early downs. So that's something that we got to do a better job of, is getting him and keeping him in a rhythm so he's not just throwing the ball in must-throw scenarios. We got to force us into those situations to where we're keeping our wideouts and our quarterback in a rhythm on base downs a little bit more than we have. And I got to do a better job of that. But I'm fired up for the growth that I've seen him have, just in terms of his drops and the rhythm of his feet. And every day you can see him getting better, and you can see him getting more comfortable in the offense, because that's still, I mean, going into his, fourth start. I mean, he hasn't had many games. So going into her third start, fourth game, whatever you want to call it, right? So from his fourth start, fifth game, I'm sorry, but from a rep standpoint, I mean, he's only going to improve, and he missed all that time in fall camp. I mean, like I said, he missed 3/4 of fall camp. So he's making that up right now.
Coach, that kind of inconsistency you mentioned as far as base formation goes, does that tie into the issues you've also mentioned as far as success on passing situations, or is that more self-inflicted mistakes? Did I answer my own question? What kind of is the formula there for getting success on passing downs?
I don't think the two correlate, but I think not many teams are going to be good in those third or must-pass situations, right? For us, that's not a strength, so we have to stay out of those. But nobody's going to go out there and be like, oh, great, 3rd and 12, we're elite in that situation. That's not football, right? The key is to stay out of those situations, and then when you get in those situations, you have your 1 or 2 calls that week in that game plan that you feel like can be successful, and you get in that situation twice or 3 times in a game, and you hit on 1 or 2 of them. Well, you just dominated that situation. The problem is you get in that situation 9 times, right? There's not going to be 9 calls. You can't teach your guys 9 different answers for 3rd and 11 plus, 3rd and 10 plus, or down 20 something with 7 minutes left. You have a limited amount of things you can do. So once a defense gets a beat on that limited amount of things, now you're behind the sticks and you're limited in what you can do just because you can't have everything in your offense in to win on 3rd and 11 plus. So you have to remove yourself from getting in those situations 6, 7, 8 times in a game. That way, when you are in those situations 1 to 3 times in a game, you can call those calls you worked on. The defense has only seen them 1 time, and you can go be successful.
With the strides you've talked about seeing from the offensive line, I guess from the start of the season to now, you've talked about what Pitt's going to do in terms of the run defense, the pass rush, all that. Is there a sense of excitement, or I don't know, I guess the emotion about kind of seeing a litmus test? I mean, going against probably one of the better defensive lines in the country.
I mean, for us, we're just trying to get better. I mean, I know we're playing Pitt. Awesome. They're a really, really good defense. But at the end of the day, we have to get better. And we talk about it, and it's over and over and over and over and over again. I don't care who we play. If we go out there and we play to our ability, and we go out there and execute, we can play with anybody. We can, but we're inconsistent right now. So for us, it's not about anybody we're facing. It is about us. So the litmus test is us doing what we're supposed to do every single snap and going out there and doing that with relentless effort. That is our litmus test.
How have you seen Coach Atkins kind of bring some confidence to the offensive line group? I mean, I know you guys gave them all a fresh start, but they had been through so much the last few years and so much negative attention. What ways do you think he was able to kind of – I know some of the guys are young and they're new, but Bavion's been around. Some other guys have played before as well. How has he helped them get some confidence?
I think kids respect knowledge. So the fact that he came in and he's a relationship-driven guy, but they understand that he's intelligent, right? At the end of the day, every kid wants to be coached. The kids don't want to go out there. They're going to have to be out there. They don't want to go out there and not be coached. They want to get better. So they understood that, okay, this guy's smart. Oh, wait, he told me to reset my hand here. Okay, well, that's different than what I've ever been told, but it worked. And once they understood that these little nuances of what he was telling them actually made them better, well, then they want more and more and more and more and more. And it's like I talked to the whole offense the other day, is success is addictive. It's addicting. It's addicting when you have success. And when you have success, you want more and you want more and you want more and you want more, because once you get that feeling, it's addicting. And I think that O-line room with Coach Atkins and the growth they've had, they're starting to get better. And with that, that growth is addicting. and they want more and they want more and they want more and they want more. So to answer your question, I think his knowledge, his intelligence, and then his ability to build relationships that are genuine so he can coach those guys hard and they understand they're doing it. And the reason he's coaching hard is because they can be better. So a combination of those things.
Hey there, Coach. I hope you're doing well. From a play calling standpoint, I know he's questionable for Saturday against Pitt, but what does it do for the offense to get Terry back possibly this week?
Obviously, a guy who demands a one-on-one. At the end of the day, football's a very simple game. You're going to have to win one-on-ones. There's going to be points in the game. I don't care what system you're in, whether you're in the air raid and you're throwing one-on-one fades, whether you're in the wing tee, right, and you're going to have to win a one-on-one block, down block, all across the board, whether you're in the veer and you've got to read one and pitch off the other for a one-on-one. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're going to have to win a one-on-one. And when you have a guy who you feel like can do that on a consistent basis, well, systematically and offensively, you can put your entire game plan around, okay, if we have to win a one-on-one, we're going to make it be that one. And then the entire game, in order to stop you from being successful, the defense knows they have to win that one-on-one. And that is what opens everything up. But when, at the end of the day, Terry demands that one-on-one, so that's what I'm excited about.
You mentioned the one-on-one battles that I guess your receivers have to win. I mean, winning a one-on-one battle for wide receiver, is it running past, the coverage, or is it being able to focus and make a catch when, you're in phase?
I think it's a combination of both. I don't necessarily think it's just running by the coverage. It's just winning man throws. Whether it's a one-on-one fade and we throw you a back shoulder, whether it's a one-on-one slant route and winning on your release and getting inside leverage so we can bang the slant on whatever down the distance we're throwing a slant on, right? Whether it's winning a one-on-one dig versus outside leverage man. Whatever that route is, you have to get in position to get open, right? So we can throw you the football and then catch it. It's it's as simple as that, right? So when we talk about it and we have to do things offensively to help our guys win one-on-ones, maybe creating some stacks or some bunches to try to help those guys not get pressed and get some clean releases, right? But at the end of the day, like we just said, it comes down to that one-on-one and somebody's got to win it. And the games that we've been more successful than others are the games that you turn on the tape and all of a sudden, whether it's a scramble drill or a home run post, Pokey wins the home run, the backside post versus North Carolina for a gain of 65 off the safety. There was his one-on-one, he won. Explosive play. Terry won him versus Notre Dame, right? Keyshawn versus North Carolina ran a post and goal and won it. Won that one-on-one. You're going to be able to look back at the football game and you're going to be able to say, okay, did we win the one-on-ones or not? And those one-on-ones in the passing game are those explosive plays. And this team, more than others, are not just going to sit back there, play zone coverage and let you pick and dump them apart. They're going to challenge you every snap, give you no easy throws, and going to fit the box like cover zero. So we better be ready to win our one-on-ones.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.